I'm just going to break down a beat that I just uploaded to YouTube. I've had it up on my store for a while. It's called Jolley Rancher. This was basically a two-step process, and I just want to give you guys the inside scoop, kind of the breakdown on how it all went. If you haven't heard the beat, don't bother listening to it right now, just wait till after this video, or go listen to it now and come back. I don't give a fuck. But first, I just want to break it down. It starts out with a couple melodies, and I learned that these half steps here were very trappy. So to go from this half step down to this half step, it just gave it like a really dark tone, kind of eerie. So I'll just play out this melody for you. And it's just real simple, just 4 bars. Yeah, I have this parametric EQ that just kind of gives it like a little intro, just kind of, you know, gives it a little build. I have that layered over a very similar melody. This just gives it a bit more energy, kind of as an undertone. Super simple once again. This is an A minor, so it's just using all the white keys. And those two together just really gives it an atmosphere. And then I believe after that I made my kicks and snares. It's kind of hard-hitting kicks, kind of hard-hitting snares, just not even very bouncy, just kind of on the grid. Simple. It's all simple. After that we have whatever this is. Oh, a little, just a little open hi-hat to give it a little fuck yeah. This would be another open hi-hat. I find that adding multiple hi-hats gives you that like, just like that, I don't know, I call it like scooping, I guess. It gives you that, like, because the kick pushes you out and then the snare brings you in. So having different kind of hi-hats can like push you in or out of the beat. Did I say that right? Kick pushes you out, snare brings you in. So we got those two hi-hats kind of playing with each other there. After that plays for a few bars, we have the 808 that comes in as part of like this first hook. We'll play 4 bars before, and then you'll get the sense of what the 808's doing. Once we get into the verse, we get some more percussive or drums. This is just another layer over the snare when the kick is entered back in. And then the snare bounces the second time here. And then, of course, it's a simple 4x4 hi-hat. No rolls, nothing. Doesn't move up or down in pitch. Simple. I actually had this beat, I called that it for a pretty good long time. I just had it sitting, and then I finally opened it back up, and I had a slightly different arrangement before, but I went ahead and rearranged it to have this sort of arrangement, and all I added was 3 more elements, sorry, and one was just like the simple kind of a fluty, kind of just during the hook, give it a little, I'll just play it. Just atmospheric. The way that's mixed, I don't label anything, I'm lazy as fuck. I just took out the high end and then drowned it out in reverb, and it just gives it this like vague sort of spaciness to it. As you can see on the Wave Candy, just yeah, I can't even put it into words. It just really, it feels real nice layered over top like that. And then later down the line, so we got verse starts here, That's halfway through the verse. And then I like to put in the 808. Usually, I don't even know how to count it. I guess bar 8 to 12. So those 4 bars, I like to add in that 808, the same one that's in the hook. I just find it makes the verse more entertaining. And then as a way to transition from the verse to back into the hook, I introduced this little section here. Just a little bass line. Puts you right back into it. And then really the last thing I did was I added this here. This is another flute, another atmospheric, kind of a riff, if you will. Just to hear how it sounded originally. I did some like halftime to it and some equalizing, and I put in a little automation to make the sound just sort of change over time. But here's how I downloaded it off of Splice. It's quiet. Then I pitched it up, and it just sort of gave it this like more intense, kind of sitting above everything. I applied that with the halftime. Oh shit, that was, yeah. Here it is. Here, we'll remove all the effects off of it so we can hear just that. And here's it with the gross beat. So that way the halftime is turning, it is on and then it turns off. Combine that with the parametric EQ where I took out some of the low ends and the reverb, which like I love using, it just gives it more atmosphere. And this just gets us right into the hook. Combine that with that first melody I had, and then we have a song.